All right, we are ready to go. Once again, the starting goaltenders, Szuczkowski for Whitby, backed up by Ethan Harwood, and Dustin Hill for Six Nations, backed up by Jackson Longboat. Entering the game today, entering the weekend, Six Nations was tied for sixth with Paris at 2-4, scoring 13.2 goals per game, seventh overall among the 8-team league, and they're eighth last in goals against, giving up 16 goals per game, making them a minus 17 in goals for and against. Whitby comes in fifth in goals for with 14.1 per game, second in goals against at 11.9 per game, a plus 16, second overall as well to Brampton, who slightly improved theirs with a thrilling overtime win last night. But we'll talk about Whitby's first three games and their last four games in a bit, and we will see the marked difference since they have had their full roster. Scott Reed is up to take the face-off here against Dougie Palace. And immediately we have a collision down along the boards. Palace and Woods getting into it as Woods was rammed into the boards. He's getting his helmet back in place. He's going to take it right off and get over and settle things. And we'll have the first penalty of the game going to Dougie Palace. It's an illegal cross check. Didn't see the indication. I think it's a minor. Yes, it is a minor. So 9 seconds in. Palace to the box. Whitby to the power play. Orpana has it. The Pipers are the righties. Parker at the top. Devin at the shooter spot. And down low today, they will have Braden McGregor. No Liam Osborne. He is busy with work. So that's a huge miss. They also have Rowan Kelly out, as well as Nick Ferris. So Ferris not on the left side of the power play, but they do have Jonah Kerr, who had a solid game for them last week. Scott Reed will also be playing up front today. They just have so much depth out the back. Head coach Ryan Degerton was saying we have to move some people up. Actually, that might have been assistant coach Brad Reed. The other side, Darcy Palace, the head coach, is assisted by Vince Longboat and Derek Searle. That shot wide. Jerry Stotts almost had it. Now he does. Bops out of his stick. He loses it. Good check, though, to slow down Kerr. Tries to get over to Orpana and does connect. Orpana having a great season. 18 goals, near the top of the league. Parker Piper's shot. He's fourth in the league coming into the weekend with 20 goals. Now on the run, flashing down the floor. That's a little bit wide on that shot from Stone Jacobs. The bright orange kicks. Orpana will flip it ahead. Nope, he's going to hang on to it. Now shovel it to Piper. Speaking of goals, last night in Oshawa's 12-11 overtime loss to the Brampton Express. Hang on, there's a shot by Orpana. Reed gets it back, and they're going to reset. Luke Laskowitz sets the all-time Arenalacrosseleague record for goals scored. Or no, sorry, he reached 200. He is second in all-time. He has 201. The leader, John St. John, his teammate with 202. St. John assists on a whole bunch of those. St. John's still leading in the league all-time in assists and points. Won't have that goal lead for long, most likely. Laskowitz is a sniper. Reed, shovel pass, can't connect. As they're into the reset 20-second shot clock on the offensive zone reset. Back to even strength. Here's Reed. He rips one far corner. Oh, easy putback. No problem there for Jordan Sturris. Good to see him back on the floor. He's returning from injury, playing for the first time since NLL training camp. And that's a nice one to get for your first, to get 2.5 minutes into your first game back. A rebound pops right up, wide open net to tuck it in. And it's 1-0 for the SteelHawks. But yeah, 201 goals for Laskowitz, 202 for St. John. And as league president Paul St. John was pointing out, Laskowitz has played about 40 games fewer than John St. John. St. John has a solid lead in assists and points. That is not under threat. I think he might be pushing up towards 700 at this point in his spectacular Arenalacrosseleague career. But Laskowitz is a sniper. Looking to snipe. Here's Wes Whitlow. He fires it, stopped by Schutzkowski. Curtis Conley couldn't quite scoop that one up, but he'll fight to it, but it is scooped away instead by the snipers. And their first goal of the game, Briley Maxwell gets that one. Nice hustle to scoop that one up. I believe that was Mitch Zulian. Oh, that was Jordan Goddard, of course. Number 12 coming up with that. Great hustle to get the loose ball. Wes Whitlow, the leading scorer for this sniper team with 34 points coming in. That was his 14th goal of the season. Jordan Goddard second with 27 points, including now 18 assists. We're 1-1, just under 3 minutes into the first quarter. Reed and Powell is battling. Reed loses his helmet. He'll just head to the bench. Got to do it. Can't play without it. Stick's there too. All he's got with him is his gloves. Nice job. One of the officials gets the helmet over. Missed the stick, but that's more easily remediable. That's probably the face-off stick. So, yeah, he's got his regular playing stick in his hand. That other stick's just going to sit there at the dot waiting for the next face-off. It's kind of camouflaged on the logo. Here's Quinn Highland. I'm a little distracted by that stick, but Highland setting up on the offense over to Kerr. Parker Pfeiffer started to drive underneath. Gets that pass through. And Orpana with the chance. He's reaching in. That's a big slash by Jerry Stotts. No call on that one, so looks like they're going to let him be pretty physical here. Jordan Goddard flips the pass out. Somehow it almost landed with Colton Armitage through that C, but eventually it's grabbed by Robert Morgan. Nice elusiveness. Got to move that ball now. There you go. Finds Reed. Morgan's going to stay out as they're down under 20. Now he's going to head to the bench after he gives it to Devin Pfeiffer. Reed tries to change directions, gets flattened, but did get over to Pfeiffer. They got 5 to shoot. Kerr rips it wide. Snipers in no hurry to pick that one up. Dougie Powell is just swatting it ahead as McGregor runs over him. Braden McGregor, as you can see, he's number 42. Take a look. He's not a big dude, but he plays with the heart of a lion. Here's Chayton King, who does nothing but score goals. He's just such a good shooter. Finds a way. He's one of those guys, just finds a way. Keegan Crowley with the strip. Tried to get it across, and it does connect with Nate Woods, who did most of the work on that. Great idea by Crowley. Not a perfect pass, but Woods made it work. Here comes Pfeiffer. Parker Pfeiffer leading the SteelHawks with 51 points, first in the league. Second in assists with 31. Fourth in goals with 20 coming into the weekend. His brother Devin with 41 points, fourth in the league, and also tied for second in assists with 31 as well. So they're pretty good having these two together. Whitby gave up a lot to get Parker from the Toronto Monarchs, but they are loving getting to play together. It's going to be a through the crease, and Stone Jacobs will have to drop it off there. Jordan Goddard saying, blow the whistle, let me pick up the ball. Officials having none of it. And Orpana moves it on. Scott Reed will find the latecomer, Devin Pfeiffer. McGregor with the spin and pass. You're going to try and find him on the back door. They do. Great pass by Scott Reed. He'll have to be alert. Now Jerry Stotts under all kinds of pressure from McGregor. See what I mean? Nice pass ahead from Ethan Fisher. Keelan Pilon scores. Oh, there's going to be a discussion amongst the officials. Ryan Schutzkowski wants to have his say. This is interesting. I love the officials getting together to chat. I get Schutzkowski, you're fired up, but you got to step back and let them have their talk. It's no goal. And Vince Longboat wants an explanation. Darcy Powell is not on the bench today. He's down at the end of the bench. He's going to have to leave partway through because young Jacob has a hockey game, which rules the Powell family household at this point. Jacob's schedule, as it tends to do. Don't know where Jacob is. He didn't come to say hi. I'm pretty bummed. Oh no, Darcy's not even down there. Where is he? Where are they? I don't know. But Jacob, if you're watching, I'm a little hurt. He didn't come say hi. No, he's a beauty. He's a great kid. A lot of fun seeing him in Poland at the European Men's Field Championships last year. Darcy was coaching Bulgaria. Hard shoulder head fake by Devin Pfeiffer. Tried to feed Parker. Was kind of hooked down. I think he just got tied up with Jerry Stotts' stick. I don't know that there was much intent to do anything, but Pfeiffer spun out pretty well. Big bang against the boards late in that play. And Vradenburg will start with possession for the Snipers. Mark Vradenburg. Andrew Vradenburg. Sorry, Mark Vradenburg is a different player. Andrew Vradenburg. Honestly, one of the nicest people I ever meet, but he can get nasty on the floor. I love that combination. Here's a strip taking off. Is Hamley. Just realized at the last moment, what a play. That's a great play by Hamley. Didn't score, but what an option. As he sensed the pressure and managed to protect the ball, the veteran shoves it over to Crowley, and Whitby has 25 seconds, lots of time to work with on this shot clock as we near the midway point of the first quarter. Orpana's hard rip is off a hill and quickly up into the rafters. Orpana with the blast. That one's off the post. Mike McLaughlin clearing the floor, and we've got a penalty behind the play. It's going to be a roughing call. A little late behind the play pop from Eric Poirier. Things are getting spicy now. 7:24 to go in the first quarter. We should, I think, at this point have the officials' timeout. There's quite a bit going on. Nice play by Mike McLaughlin to show the stick that he'd picked up on the floor and everybody, and sees it's a Whitby stick and tosses it over to them. Good sportsmanship. Whitby on the power play. Orpana gets it back. Pfeiffer. Heavy pressure from Vradenburg. Six Nations wants a holding call. They feel like Parker. Oh, that's going to be a penalty right there. Vradenburg down on the ground, and Pfeiffer cross-checks him. That's got to be a penalty, right? No, I think we're just getting a loose ball foul. Yeesh. I will respectfully disagree with that call, or non-call. Minute and a half left as King holds on to the ball on this penalty kill, trying to fight through. Great job holding on to the ball. Oh, and then the ground causes a fumble. He just grabs it with his offhand. Really doesn't harm anything. You know you're giving the ball up. You've lost it anyway. Go ahead and grab it. Let your guys get out and get a change and get on D. Actually, kind of like that. It's a heads-up play. Orpana to Parker Pfeiffer, over to Devin. The last one in was Kerr. They've kind of left him alone. They get to him now, but that opens up for Orpana, who misses. That's going to be an over and back. .6:14 to go. It's 1-1. And we will have the officials' timeout at the midpoint here of the first quarter. 6:14 to go. 1-1 is the score. And we're back underway, and that is a shorthanded goal for Avery Steinbach Parker. A star for the Brock Badgers, and you can see he's pretty good here in the indoor game. Tends to play a lot of D-transition, but nice skill set on the offensive end as well. And Steinbach Parker with 32 seconds left in the penalty. Hayden Thompson with the ball off that faceoff. Up to Arpanis. Still 18-17 left in the penalty. It's time for the SteelHawks to work with. They're not rushing to get going on this one. Kerr is just going to rip it far side off the leg of Dustin Hill. And now there's only 5 seconds left. I think they're going to hold. No, they're going to. Oh, there's a delayed penalty coming, so you can go ahead and let it fly. And they get it back. No rush now for the SteelHawks. They've got 12 on the shot clock and no worries about giving up a loose ball, so they can shoot when they want. Twister scores! That was a patient, and precise play by Jonah Kerr. Just takes his time and buries that one. So that will wipe out the delayed penalty, but tie things up 2-2. .507 to go here in the first. Ball pops out. Devin Piper, the first one there. Kind of gets away from him, gets away again, and that's going to be a turnover. Nice hustle to get after it by Jacob Killian. He is patiently waiting for a change. Now he'll bounce one. Found Maxwell, who keeps it moving. Here's Chayton King. Keelan Pilon with the shot. That one's stopped. Shuskowski looking up the floor. Oh, that's going to be trouble. But well done taking that hit by Jordan Sturris. Chayton King's helmet was on the floor. Sturris, we're seeing sportsmanship all over the place as Sturris chucks it over by the Six Nations bench. Owen Orpana is buried into the boards. That was a clean hit, but things are getting feisty along there. This is the same spot where things got going earlier as Poirier comes racing in to go after a Whitby player. Another rip. That one gets through. No, it doesn't. Hill just got it. I thought Kerr was on fire. That was a pretty good shot. Almost had his second straight. Stone Jacobs playing offense, hands it off. Come back out to West Whitlow. Good movement. Coming across the top was Colton Armitage, but Shuskowski saw that all the way. Outlet pass a little bit far. It's going to be tracked down by Zach Raymond. Didn't quite get there in time. Nice hustle by Armitage. Great issues. Raymond does get the ball, but you'll be stripped of it. Excellent work there by Sean Osborne. Colton Armitage. Let's get away from Scott Reed. Reed is playing forward this game. He usually plays defense. I'm not sure there's anything he can't actually do on the lacrosse floor. Quick stick on the far side by Maxwell. That gets, though, either off the post or off the leg of Shuskowski. And it's a fresh 20 for the Snipers. Shot clock is not running. Now it goes. That's pretty much a new 30 for the Snipers. Steinbach Parker, give and go. Got it back and tried the shot, but never really had possession. Then the passer, Goddard, cut through. They didn't connect with him. So 3 to shoot. It's going to be from downtown by Armitage. That'll be a fresh 20. It's going to come out to Pilon. That was a heck of a reset shot there from downtown by Armitage. Oh, nice little underhand shot, underhand pass by Whitlow. They get the chance, but now it's going the other way. Jordan Sturris hits Pfeiffer coming off the bench, and Whitlow's going to try and keep the frantic pace going with pressure on Pfeiffer. Now he'll go for a change, and I think Whitby's going to be able to settle in a bit. I don't know. There's some pressure coming. Mitch Julian was getting out. Oh, nice pass through. What a save. Dustin Hill throws the arm out. Shades of Goa Abrams at the Worlds, I guess 2 years ago now. That save when he made that huge save for the U.S. on Lyle Thompson that propelled the U.S. to the finals for the first time with a huge semifinal win over the Haudenosaunee Nationals. McGregor is just pounded by a trio of snipers, and they're going to get possession. Jerry Stotts is looking for the ball because he knows they're supposed to have it, but it's already rolled well down the floor. They have to bring it back to give the ball to Jordan Goddard and set up. A minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. And we're going to have a penalty behind the play here again. Hayden Thompson is down. Trainer out quickly. He's up on his hands and knees. Looks to be all right. Over in the penalty box, we see the Snipers players there. Can't see who it is. Hayden Thompson is up and making his way to the bench under his own power, which is a good sign. Another big game today in the second half of this doubleheader. We'll see the Sweekan Bears and Peterborough Timbermen play. That should be a fun one. So it's King going to the box. Whitby back to the power play. We're all tied up 2-2, nearing the final minute of the first quarter. Hard rip from Pfeiffer, but it's stopped. And Vradenberg trying to come out of the crease, but all kinds of SteelHawks all around him. And it's back to the power play. A fresh 30 since Six Nations did possess it. It doesn't just go to 20. Hard shot by Orpana just off the top corner. I think it missed. Yeah, it didn't hit Dustin Hill, who's wearing his Haudenosaunee Nationals helmet. Remember that program? This program's gone from not having really goaltending as a strength to having a ton of goaltending. Warren Hill and Dougie Jameson, Deacon Knott, the up-and-comer, Dustin Hill, and others. Devin Pfeiffer's up the floor, so there's a sniper with him, which is why we're 3-on-4 in this end. Woods couldn't pick that one up, so Armitage got after it, but it rolled to Schutzkowski. Conley calmly steps aside. Is that? Yeah, there's a penalty coming on that check. And Pfeiffer fired it to try and get the reset. Now he's going to go in. This is a chance. You can hear the bench yelling, leave it, leave it, leave it. Let's get the time ticking away. Six Nations wanted all the time to come off that penalty before it was picked up that it could, and they will get all the way to the end of the first quarter. It's 2-2, and when we come back for the second, there will be 38 seconds or less of 5-on-3 action for the Whitby SteelHawks. I'm Stephen Stamp. This is The All. We'll be back. We got some news breaking that you're going to probably hear about before this gets posted, but I can't say anything at the moment. But watch your feed, watch IL Indoor. There's some news coming. It's pretty big. 5-on-3 for 38 seconds or less. Got to think Whitby's going to have a pretty good chance to score here, as they are almost automatic. They'll go the 4-on-3 and leave somebody up top as a safety valve. No, now they're getting Hayden Thompson out there. They didn't even have a fifth player out. Pretty good movement, but everything a little bit high. That one's tipped. It's off a Snipers player, so it will be a fresh 20 and possession. Whitby 15 on the 5-on-3. Behind the back, there's a quick pass, just a little bit out of the reach of Reed. And it is scooped up there by Stone Jacobs, but he loses it. Devin Pfeiffer with it. Behind the back to Parker. Rips one low. That's why you have the safety valve back there. Hayden Thompson gets that one before it gets to center. Now they'll go to the regular power play as we're 5-on-4. He'll seem to be a little crossed up by that changeup from Parker Pfeiffer. Now Devin will rip it down to Parker, who blasts it. Another save for Hill. Another fresh 20 for Whitby. And I would imagine some fairly tired penalty killers trying to be efficient with their movements. You can see Vradenberg trying to get some pressure on Orpana. Does a nice job of it. Devin Pfeiffer behind the back to Parker. Backdoor, there you go. It was going to happen. And it's Scott Reed banging that one home. Great ball movement. Pretty good penalty kill defense by the Snipers, but eventually you just wear down. And Whitby, with the great ball movement, finds that backdoor cut. It's 3-2 with the power play marker. 1:17 into the second quarter. Reed and Powless at the dot. Somebody pull that out. We don't want to repeat of last night's 35-second faceoffs. Powless pulls it out, pops free. Mitchell Zulian wearing his Italy bucket. He's a key player for the Italian lacrosse program. That's going to come up. If there was no net, that would have come right up to us. I was ready to grab it. But the netting, which is the bane of our viewing experience, saves us from having a ball bounce into the stands there. Quinn Highland spinning away. Penalty coming in the middle. It's going to be a holding the stick, I think, as Devin Pfeiffer is stickless. Looks like Ethan Fisher will get this one. Yeah. Fisher just kind of nods. I think Derek Sherrill doesn't like the call on the Six Nations bench, or maybe he's just telling his defenders what to do. But Ethan Fisher had the look of a player who knew he'd done something, hears the whistle, and is hoping it's not going to be what he thinks it was. It was. And the SteelHawks back to the power play. Stotts and McLaughlin at the top on the penalty kill. Down low, they've got Max Skeen. Not Fradenberg. Who is? Oh, and that's Jacob Killian, the other penalty killer. Usual suspects for the power play here. Devin Pfeiffer rips one, stopped by Hill, and controls the rebound. He's looking up the floor, and that's got to hit the rafters somewhere. Yeah, didn't even get it past the restraining line. That was way too high a pass. He had something going on. I think they'd sprung Wes Whitlow off the bench because they had that one ready to release. It was just great idea, just not an excellent pass from Hill. Here's Parker Pfeiffer, backdoor. Oh, McGregor, nice job avoiding the check and buries it. What a play by Braden McGregor. Under duress, fights off Jacob Killian. Was virtually on the turf, manages to get back up and sneak that one past Hill. Another power play marker for Whitby, and they're up 4-2. I said we talk about Whitby's first 3 games and the last 4 games. Or their first 4 games, they were 1-3. They lost by 6 goals, won by 2, lost in overtime, lost by 1. So they were close, but they were 1-3. Their last 3 games, they've won them all by 4, 13, and 5. That's a plus 22 over 3 games. They are on fire. They're 4-3 in a 3-way tie for second with Toronto and Peterborough entering the weekend, but rising through the standings and playing very well. Conley on the run. Watched by Fisher, who strips the ball. Nice job by Fisher. You got to love to see when you've just come out of the penalty box the ability to go out and still be aggressive defensively. That'll be an illegal pick as Whitby was recovering the ball, and the Snipers try to push the pace. They're not going to be able to connect with Vradenberg. And Devin Pfeiffer. That makes sense, with a really nice pass. I mean, Conley's a good passer too, but Devin Pfeiffer just ripped that one up to Keegan Crowley. There we go. Whitby just gets their 5th player out on the floor. Took them about 3/4 of the shot clock to realize that they only had 4 guys. That one didn't touch anyone, so it's going to get out of play, and it'll be Sniper's ball. And Ben Wittich steps up over center. It's stripped. Tapped ahead there by Ben Cromer. He's all on his own. He had to double clutch, had to chase after the ball, and that kind of threw off his timing. Now he's wide open, naked on the crease. Another save. Dustin Hill, what a stop. Cromer is going to get it back. They say he went through the crease. And that's going to turn the ball over to the Snipers. Great shift from Ben Cromer. I like this kid more every time I see him play. We are 4 minutes and plus into the second quarter. It's 4-2 SteelHawks. Snipers battling. Keelan Pilon hands it down. They tried to get, they did get the pass through to Jordan Goddard. Crowley almost grabbed it. Still bouncing around. Pilon was in the crease. Yeah, he had to take a look back, but while he was standing there, his left foot was definitely inside the crease. So as soon as you step out and pick the ball up, your first man to play the ball after being in the crease, that's a turnover, and here comes Whitby. Scott Reed wants the ball over on the far side, not getting it, so he's going to go set a pick. Gavin Skye battles through that. Shot by Kerr, comes straight back out to Reed. It's a fresh 20 for the SteelHawks. Skye on him. Parker Piper faked the flip pass up. Sorry, Devin faked it up to Parker. Jerry Scott's taken off. He's not going to win that race, though, as Dallas Clancy came off the bench with steam. It will be Sniper's ball, just no breakaway chance. Armitage took a couple tries to get the ball, fighting past Eddie Faraday. Briley Maxwell stopped by the shoulder, Szuczkowski. Boy, Dustin Hill's been pretty spectacular, but Szuczkowski steadily tending the twine for Whitby. Doing a good job. Maxwell battling through, gets knocked down. There's a push from behind by Justin Bragg. Packs a lot of power into that little frame. Here's Armitage. Off the post on the far. It's in. It's off the inside of the post. I heard the ping. Thought the ball was ricocheting out the other way. It was not. It ricochets in for the third goal for the Snipers. 9:32 to go here in the second quarter. Dougie Powless is ready to go. And he's saying, just blow the whistle. Let's go. But Eddie Faraday gets there. He had to go get the face-off twig. You recognize it. That's the one that was hanging out there all on its own on the logo for a while early in the game. Faraday makes the pass to Jordan Sturris, who had his hand up to say, no, hang on, I'm going for a change. Faraday throws it anyway, but it works out. And here comes Parker Piper into the offensive zone. Gets a pick from McGregor. Nice off-ball defense by Six Nations. There's lots of activity by the SteelHawks, but the Snipers covering everybody. They certainly don't look like a team that's been giving up 16 goals per game, worse in the league. Dustin Hill with another big stop. That's Fisher on the run. Connects with Steinbach Parker. Keelan Pilon on the near side moves it over and gets it back quickly. There's some space there. That pick from Maxwell actually drove the defender right into his own man. Pilon gets it back, dives, big save, Szuczkowski. These players are excited because the OLA has just announced recently that there will be no more cylinder rule in the summer game. They'll be playing the normal ALL, NLL, World Lacrosse rules where you can dive over the crease. You just can't land in the crease before the ball goes in. You can't hit the goalie. You can't hit the goalie. Everyone remember that part. Poirier leaves it there. Armitage watched by Woods. Hey, Woods not wearing the knee brace or the knee wrap that he usually wears. Interesting to see us. Identifying factor. Maxwell, far side, off the post. And Wes Whitlow is on the turf and slow to get up. Looks like the left leg bothering him. Armitage, nice move, drives in, saves Szuczkowski. Just got it with his arm. Oh, they didn't give him a reset. Maybe it didn't go off. He must have been just wide. That's going to be an illegal pick by Briley Maxwell. He's fired up. It was a pretty zesty check. And Reed goes the other way after taking that illegal pick and jumping up to sprint down the floor. 7:31 to go in the second. Next stoppage, we'll have the officials timeout, and it's still 4-3 Whitby in a pretty excellent lacrosse game. We had a great game last night. Overtime between Brampton and Oshawa. Maxwell moves it on. I think they were looking to go back to him, but Jordan Goddard goes over to Steinbach Parker. Jump shot. That's blocked out front. Oh, what a behind-the-back rip over the shoulder by Maxwell. That was a nifty play. Stopped, though, by Schutzkowski. Here's Faraday. He's got Hamley with him. And takes a big hit. Jacob Killian lowering the boom. Now he's going to get double-teamed. That's Cody Hamley taking that ride. Shoveled ahead, and Max Skeen up over center, off to Goddard, scores! On the run, bounces it home. No officials timeout after the goal, so we're going to keep rolling, and we're going to be tied up 4-4 with 6:41 to go here in the second. Lovely little play. Nice pass by Skeen. And that all goes back to the defensive pressure on the loose ball rebound at the other end of the floor. Got them possession. Allowed that play to develop. Yeah, we've got a pretty nice crowd here at Children's Arena. You should come on down, check out the schedule. Generally games pretty much every Saturday, usually a doubleheader. Some Friday night games like we had last night. Oh, nice pass, nice finish. That was Conley up for an offensive shift over to Orpana, who was just lighting it up. And 18 goals coming into today. Reed, and it's going to be Jerry Stotts instead of Dougie Powless. Oh, Reed wins it cleanly because he went way early. And that's going to hand the ball to the Snipers and will elicit our officials timeout with 6:28 to go in the second quarter. It's 5-4 SteelHawks. I'm Steven Stamp. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more Arenalacrosse League action. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. That is Briley Maxwell. He will start possession when we get underway with 6:28 to go. There you go. Come back to Maxwell. He's going to drive underneath. Tried far side, missed by about a foot. He's trying to convert to centimeters for the youngins, but took me too long. Here's Crowley. They just don't check him. Let Dustin Hill deal with it. He handles it just fine, but it's scooped up there by Robert Morgan, who will spin away from pressure. Over to Parker Pfeiffer. Being watched by Wittich. Staying with him pretty well. Wittich moving for a big guy. Orpana tries the rip as that was late in the shot clock. Dustin Hill looking up the floor. You can see the disappointment. His body language, there's nobody open up the floor, so we have to make the short pass. They get it ahead to Jordan Goddard. Here's Whitlow flinging it over, and Pilon. Pass across, bounce shot from Chayton King right into the chest of Schutzkowski. Still loose on the floor. Nate Woods battling with it against three Six Nations players. Eventually, though, bounces over. That's almost a scary pass. It was lobbed ahead there by Zach Raymond. Heads up play by Dallas Clancy to go meet the ball, so we avoided getting schmucked as the defender was coming. There's a shoe on the floor. Somebody's blown a tire. Can't see who it is. I'm looking for somebody with one shoe. They must have gotten to the bench. Parker Pfeiffer's flip pass gets through to Kerr. What a pass. I thought he was going to the guy in the slot, but the way it went straight to Kerr, I think he was actually... There's a penalty coming. The Six Nations gets the extra attacker out. Or do they? No, now they're just, come on, you got to send somebody out. Oh, and Keelan Pilon scores. They did technically have six attackers as Avery Steinbach Parker had taken about 2 steps out of the change box. But that was basically a 5-on-5 goal. for Keelan Pilon, who goes dead overhand and rips the tying marker to make it 5-5. 4:25 to go in the half. The mystery has been solved. It's Dougie Powless reshoeing himself. We'll get that one tied up tight, nice and tight, Dougie. Double knot. There you go. That's the ticket. He's ready now. He'll be up against Scott Reed for this face-off battle. Reed thought he had it, went to take off with it, looked, and it wasn't there. Dougie Powless has it. He's pushed over center. They're going to say back, over and back, and I don't know why. Nate Wood scores. And Six Nations is not thrilled with that. I'm not sure why that call was made. It looks like there's been an explanation given to Whitby. They're fine with it. Jerry Stotts now comes over and says, "What are you calling?" Wait. Okay, that's. So we had the announcement that a Whitby penalty to Scott Reed for slashing has been wiped out by the Whitby goal. That makes no sense. We must have had that flipped around. Because there's a delayed penalty coming to Six Nations. Or a penalty coming to Six Nations. Whitby trying to add to this lead. Hard shot on the run right off the faceoff by Josh Sweet. I think no satisfaction was had on the Six Nations bench over why that was called over and back. Nice job by Zulian to fight through that check, but then the pass isn't there. Stone Jacobs, a little bit of a pop. Zulian, it's off of his stick and up out of play. What an action-packed sequence. Colton Armitage is checking his teammates, hoping the play will be blown in early, but they wait for Rapana to get there and Whitby to the offense. 3:35 to go. Diving attempt by Devin Pipe, or by Braden McGregor. As I say, in the cylinder rule gone in the OLA, so these players all know they can do that kind of play throughout the year. Really like to see that consistency from league to league. It's going to be great. Even if it's not the rule you prefer, it's better to be consistent. Rapana, nice pass, a little sidearm shot. Doesn't get on target. Yeah, it was Quinn Highland shooting, and he taps Rapana on the back, says, "Nice pass, buddy." Pilon with it, got the last goal for the Snipers. He's going to flip this one over to Steinbach Parker. That's up in the rafters. Oh no, it's in the. Somebody was pointing up to the rafters. They didn't think it had come down, and that's going to be a penalty, and no question. So Szuczkowski was guarding the ball to just let the clock keep ticking, and Jerry Stotts just one hand whacks him and then complains. But I mean, that's not a slash if it's not in the crease, but that's definitely interference. Checking the goalie in his crease. So Whitby going to the power play with 2:49 to go in the half. I mean, I don't think that's going to be called if it's not an in the crease play. Those pads are loud when you hit them with your stick, so probably sounded a lot worse than it was, but it's definitely in the crease. They called him for slashing. I hope they weren't calling it for the slash. I hope they were calling it in the crease. Anyway, Whitby to the power play. Devin Piper got a pretty nice little bounce shot off. Parker Piper to put back. He misses. Orpana's got it. Thought he was going to shoot. Now Piper's got a lane. Taken away by Killian. Great defensive movement by Killian. Pass ahead. Killian having a really strong game. Pfeiffer's down the floor, so there's a sniper with him. So we're 3-on-4 in this end. That's going to get up and out of play and into the stands. Young Finn is racing after that. He wants a souvenir. Oh, there's another one. 3 of them. You know what? I think the first guy was just running out into the lobby. Just coincidental. Anyway, let's get back to the play here. Power play for the SteelHawks. Pfeiffer flips it to his brother Parker. Oh, nice pass. Reed with the quick stick, but Hill was ready. Racing out of the zone is Max Skeen. Jordan Goddard saying, hold on, slow things down. Skeen's like, I got an assist earlier on a really nice play. Let's try that again. But Snipers just get their 4th penalty killer out there. They're going to go the sneaky switch as Steinbeck Parker went to the one end of the bench. They brought someone out, but Poirier's shot will get off target. That's a shot clock violation. There goes another ball. The chase resumes. The same kid in the pink hoodie, fuchsia hoodie, is going to get down and get that ball too. She's pretty fired up. Don't know if she's going to throw him back in or keep him, but pretty fun chasing down that ball. Here's Pfeiffer. Behind the net to Parker. Pfeiffer scores. No, they're saying crease violation. 48 seconds left in the half. Wittich throws on the brakes. Corkscrew check from Reed doesn't work, and the Snipers have it. They're not going for the 2-for-1. Pilon's going to slow things down, flip it up top, and gets it back from Whitlow immediately. Hard pass through, doesn't connect with King. That's Devin Pfeiffer on the defensive end. Nice job. Gets it out. Timeout for Brett Whitby. I'm not sure how many times they called it. I could hear it just resonating across the floor as we're in the final 30 seconds. The SteelHawks want their first half timeout. They're going to set something up here. Want to recap what we were talking about earlier in the broadcast of last night. Luke Laskowitz gets his 200th and 201st goals in his Arenalacrosseleague League career, putting him second in all history. 1 goal back of John St. John. Laskowitz is going to take that spot. He is a sniper. He's on fire as usual. 24.7 to go. We'll have 6 Warriors or 6 SteelHawks on the floor. All of them runners. So both Pfeiffers are out, as one would expect, along with Braden McGregor on the right side. The lefties, Orpana, Kerr, and Reed. That makes sense since those are the 3 lefty forwards they have drafted. Oh, no, they got Quinn Highland, too. They have a 4th lefty. Devin Pfeiffer's going to start with the ball well down in Whitby's zone. Lots of time, though. They're not shooting until the final few seconds, and there's 24.7 to go. He doesn't have to hurry getting down the floor. Pfeiffer trots up over center. Some battling going on in the slot. There's one thing about Whitby's offense that's not maybe how you draw it up. It's that they're a bit small. There's a shot. Is that a goal? They're saying it is. Sniper's calling for a timeout. The officials are talking. They're saying no goal. Whitby thought it was in. Now Dustin Hill's going to go to the bench as Shutkowski returns to his crease. And Six Nations will get 6 attackers out with 8.7 seconds to go. They will not have the luxury of time. They will have to start right down at their crease. So they're going to have to race up the floor. Now, you can give it to your fastest player and let him run up, or you can throw it ahead, but then you kind of lose the benefit of the 6th attacker. Although, he can throw and then run. Then he's there for a receiver return pass. We'll see what they do. They've got Whitlow, Armitage, Pilon, Maxwell, Goddard, of course. I imagine Chayton King will be out there. Or is it Steinbach? No, it's Steinbach Parker. It's coming out. Looks like Armitage will start with the ball. So apparently they're going for the speed option and just let him race up the floor. He's going to be watched by Nate Woods, which will make things challenging. But they do have Pilon now setting up near center on the boards just below us. Hayden Thompson is divided interest. He's got to try and watch Steinbach Parker and Pilon. So nice job by Pilon to move a couple of his teammates down into their defensive zone. And eventually we're going to be ready to go here. They give the ball to Armitage. He's going to take a run. Good job, because Woods is fleet. Armitage runs by him, takes a slash in the head. Thought there might actually be a call there. It wasn't vicious, but for sure the stick got up into the grill, onto the forehead. But no call. We go to halftime of a very well-played game. It's 6-5 for the Whitby SteelHawks over the Six Nations Snipers. I'm Steven Stamp. We'll be back in 10 minutes with more Arena Lacrosse League action from Children's Arena. Hello, lacrosse friends, and welcome back. Whitby with a 6-5 lead. That's Ryan Schutzkowski heading to his net. At the other end, Dustin Hill already between the pipes. And we are ready to go with half number 2. This tremendous Arena Lacrosse League game. Dougie Palace coming out. Just saw Darcy, the head coach for the Snipers, leaving at halftime, taking young Jacob to hockey. Scott Reed is there for Whitby for the face-off. Officials just making sure all the doors into the rink are closed properly. And away we go. 6-5 SteelHawks, second half. Underway. Zulian with it. That would be an over and back if Thompson could push him over, but Zulian, nice job to battle his way through. Gets it over to Dougie Palace. And here's Chayton King with possession for the Snipers. They've got 16 on the shot clock. Maxwell circling over the top. Out of range for a shot. Gets it back. Now there's some room. Fires that one. It's going to get up into the rafters. And it'll be a Whitby ball. Whitby stopped from running with the slightly overly quick restart as they were trying to take off before play was blown in. They are now settled into the offensive zone. As Quinn Highland joins the offense as the fifth attacker, sets a pick there, or a screen there. Diving the net is Orpana. Save Dustin Hill. On the turf, but Piper quick to get it as he's off Radenberg, coming to apply pressure. Here's Orpana, low to high, and there's a penalty coming. It's going to be, as Radenberg was flat, and I think Parker Piper is going. It's going to be an illegal cross check. Didn't get the indication of the penalty in this direction, so we're not sure what it was. We'll hear the announcement thanks to the nice new PA system. Actually, if we can just pan up a touch while we're there before we go and get that, there you see the speakers for the PA system. And we can hear what Mike's announcing. It's glorious. So shortly we'll hear. Illegal body check. Yeah, fair enough. So power play Snipers to try and tie this one up. Whitlow behind the back flipped to King, but that was right in the chest pad. They're going to call back in on Ryan Schutzkowski. And the Snipers have a fresh 30. Of course, Whitby can't go back in unless you have possession. Oh, nice pass across. The attempt at the quick stick didn't quite work out for Pilon. He'll come and set a pick. Maxwell fires one. Penalty coming to Whitby. Another one. You got to take a shot now. Let them pick it up. There you go. It's out of play. You want the play to be stopped as soon as possible so you maximize your time on the 5-on-3. It's going to be a legal cross-check to Nate Woods. There we go. That's how you do it. Give us the indication over to the camera. Nice work. Whitlow going to the bench. They've already got 5 guys out there. They're going to leave Colton Armitage high as the safety valve. Minute 9 as play got going on this 5-on-3. Backdoor pass attempt. Skip pass got blocked. Nice work there by Jordan Sturris. Again, his first game back from injury. He's been out since last November. So great to see him on the floor and battling and looking more or less comfortable. I'm sure right now he's not thinking about it, but that's going to be an illegal push in the back. And that was on Sturris, and that was, you could have called holding. Actually, a possession call is probably a bit of a break for the SteelHawks there, because that could have been a penalty. The Sturris kind of dragged down the Snipers forward. King buries. I told you this guy finds a way to score. That's a beauty. Over the shoulder of Szuczkowski. That'll wipe out the final 34 seconds of the Pfeiffer penalty and leave a minute 23 on the cross-checking call to Nate Woods. So with a 6-6 game, the Snipers have a chance to take the lead. Trying to think if they've been ahead in this game. I feel like Whitby got going first. Take a look, Arenalacrosseleague.ca. You can pull up the game and see how it's going. Actually, is it being live scored? Maybe not. I really need to pay more attention. But I'm paying attention right here and seeing Scott Reed battle through traffic to get that ball. The nice pick from Cromer. That's going to be a reset for whoever gets it. It's the Snipers coming away with it. They move it ahead quickly to Whitlow. Keelan Pilon down at the crease is saying, slow it down. Maxwell thought about having a rip. Conley was out on him. That one's knocked down by Cromer. Tried to tap it ahead to himself. Nobody able to get it. And that's going to almost turn into a dangerous chance. But the shovel pass got off the tip of Pilon's stick. Nice quick pass. Getting out of trouble there by Sturris. Get ahead to Cromer. Six Nations leave a hanger. So we've got a 3-on-4 in this end. 10 left on the shot clock. They'll leave about a dozen on the penalty at the end of the time. That's going to get up better play. Did it touch? It did. I thought it might have gone off the shaft of Dustin Hill's stick. And it is a reset as that gets up out of play. So Whitby's going to be able to kill the rest of this. Braden McGregor. Nifty moves, then uses the stick as a crutch to pop himself back up. Yeah, I was going to say, you want to get rid of that ball at some point. He'll take a big breath over in the corner. Here's Orpana. Time runs out on the shot clock just as Devin Pfeiffer about to take a shot. We're 4:02 into the third quarter. It's 6-6. Quite a battle as Steinbeck Parker takes it. Armitage with a pick from Pilon. Chayton King thought about the behind-the-back pass. Takes the shot from in front instead. There's going to be a fresh 20 as he picks that one up. Whitlow surveys, tries to get the pass through. Oh, it's going to be gotten on the second try by Armitage. Oh, what a diving attempt. But Szuczkowski with the save. What a spectacular effort there by Colton Armitage. Whitby gets it in the offensive zone. Highland fighting back to the ball. To Pfeiffer, quickly over to Orpana. Only a dozen on the shot clock, but good work to maintain possession by the SteelHawks. 5 on the shot clock. Hard underhand shot, no problem for Hill. Got nobody to pass to, though. Going to get to Stotts, who's under duress. That's a nice behind-the-back flip to get it over to Ethan Fisher, who makes it across center and hands it off. Armitage to Maxwell. This is Goddard. He's going behind the back. Can't quite connect with Whitlow. 7 to shoot. That one's knocked aside by Conley. That's going to be a 30-second violation. I thought we might be seeing a loose ball push called as Whitby got a little aggressive with Whitlow, who probably didn't do maybe his utmost to stay up. You're under no responsibility to stay on your feet there. I mean, you don't want to dive outright, but hey, if they're on your back and you happen to fall down. That pass almost tipped by Sky, but it does get out to Devin Pfeiffer. Orpana, creates a shooting lane for himself. Good recovery by Vradenberg, but it's a goal. It trickles through. So he lost Vradenberg. Then Vradenberg got back and hit him, and it looked like Hill had it, but instead that ball just squeaks over the line, and it's 7-6 SteelHawks. What a game. Reed and Palace, another battle. Reed comes up with it. Nice work by Zulian getting the pitchfork attempt to clear that ball. Now it's an over and back. Penalties coming to Palace and Woods. Now Dougie Palace is walking over to the Six Nations bench. Is it only one? I thought I saw the ref point at both of them. Oh, it's just going to be Woods. So it's going to be a power play Six Nations. I really thought I saw him point to both. It must have just been the emphatic second point. Whitlow started at the top as Six Nations goes strong right. Cromer and Conley at the top. Okay, the clock wasn't going. At least the penalty clock wasn't going. So we're going to start that up again. Just forget everything that you saw in the last 6 seconds. Remember this. This is real now. Nope, still not. Forget what you just saw in that 10 seconds. We'll get that sorted out. Just a little mechanical issue. So it's going to be Cromer and Conley at the top on the penalty kill. Sturris and Thompson are the low men for Whitby. We'll be righty strong with Wes Whitlow, who's playing catch with Dustin Hill off to our right. Oh, they're done. No, maybe they're not. Go ahead, throw him another one. No, I think he should. Whitlow put the ball down. Dustin Hill's ready. He's ready to play catch. Officials having a chat with the scorers. They're going to go and explain to the Six Nations bench, and we'll be ready to go. Chayton King and Jordan Goddard, the other righties with Whitlow, with Goddard down at the crease, Pilon on the crease, and Briley Maxwell is the lefty at the shooter spot for the Snipers. Little check to make sure it's working. They had a second ticked off, and things are okay now with the time clock. All is well. We're going. Things are ticking. Excellent recovery, and away we go. Whitlow to Maxwell. Up to Whitlow. Hard shot's going to be an over and back. Smart job by Whitlow, to run back there and just be in the way. So Whitby couldn't get a quick restart and a breakaway. It'll be Parker Pfeiffer with the ball in the corner. Stone Jacobs watching him carefully but not pressing. Pfeiffer taking his time, still watched by Jacobs. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Whitby getting some defenders out. Reset attempt by Pfeiffer almost worked. He got it off the shin pad of Dustin Hill, but couldn't get it before Stone Jacobs came away with the ball. 7 minutes into the third quarter. A minute to go on this power play. Maxwell coming back up to Whitlow. Whips it behind the back. Tried to feed it across floor for the quick stick on the back door, but picked off cleanly by Cromer. He's running with Conley. Gets it to Conley. Twister stopped. Goddard reaching in behind Dustin Hill because nobody was sure where it was. They come away with the ball. All is well for the Snipers, and they're back to the man advantage. Whitlow fakes it to King. Going over to the lefties instead as they go strong left. So Pilon goes to the top, and Whitlow over to the shooter spot with King sending a pick. Pilon didn't have it. Room to shoot, but Armitage was off target. Just 4 on the shot clock now. King flips it up top. Pilon's got to let that rip. It's wide. It'll be an over and back or a 30. Either way, it's going to be Whitby possession, and they can kill the final 13 seconds of this penalty to Nate Woods, who will take the 2 steps to the Whitby bench and send Owen Orpana out to join the fray. If they still have it, this is a lot of pressure. Big check into the boards. Ball still rolling around. It's Woods going to go and join the fray because they're getting late into the shot clock, so he's out to play defense. McLaughlin on the run. Oh, he was looking at all the possibilities, but the veteran leader, captain of this club, makes the wise decision to hand it off, and Avery Steinbach Parker, he thought about a shot. Good pressure from Robert Morgan. Pilon up to the top, feeds one through, connected with Goddard, but Morgan was right on top of him. Great defensive play there by Morgan. Zach Raymond was chasing after that ball, and you can hear the Whitby bench yelling, leave it. It's going to be a 30-second violation, and Whitby will get possession. 6:16 to go. Is that the officials' timeout? Have we not had that? We have not. We'll go officials timeout with 6:16 left in the third. It is 7-6 for the Whitby SteelHawks over the Six Nations Snipers, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Back underway. Orpana started with the ball up to Pfeiffer, where Reed gets it back. Flips it off to Kerr, who gets a hard shot. Hill makes the stop and just gets to that rebound as Reed was lurking on the edge of the crease, as was Parker Pfeiffer. Kerr just avoids a holding penalty as Jacob Killian runs through that attempted check. I'm becoming a pretty big Jacob Killian fan today. He's having himself quite a game. Decent stick skills, making pretty good decisions with the ball. Definitely a physical presence. We'll just ignore what just happened there where he missed that ball rolling out. And it gets to Devin Pfeiffer. That was a tricky one. Oh, nice pass, Pfeiffer to Faraday. Dustin Hill with the stop. Lob pass just shy of the rafters, and Mitch Julian zips up into the offensive zone. Goddard immediately to Steinbach Parker. Steinbach Parker with the chance. Shuskowski with that stop. Both goalies have been tested often, have done pretty well. Here's Jordan Sturris. Armitage staying with him. Rolls the pass back that's scooped up by Quinn Highland. Sturris has stayed out, 17 on the shot clock. Orpana has it, 3 lefties on the floor for the SteelHawks. Conley, the righty. Not the usual offensive set that you see for Whitby. Orpana, that's going to be a reset. Great job by Orpana to bang it off the pads. Sturris comes away with it, but that, I think, is going to be turned over. Well, Stone Jacobs will not get there first. Quinn Highland races in. Parker Pfeiffer quickly behind the back to his brother. Devin sheds the check from Armitage, who eventually does recover the ball. That long pass doesn't connect. Pilon trying to track it down. But it's going to be Cody Hamley coming away with the ball. Pfeiffer driving to the net, sloughs off the check, goes one hand behind the back. It's a heck of a play, just missing though, and then Reed is sitting in the crease. And possession handed to the Snipers, as well it should be. Here's Chayton King. Bouncing on the balls of his feet as he's trying to see what to do with it. Flings over to the far side. King gets it again, goes to Maxwell. Tries to spin underneath. Hayden Thompson right with him. Saved by Schutzkowski. Josh Sweet gets over center. That's close to center. That is an over and back. Great effort by Stone Jacobs. May have gotten away with one on the slash to the player after he deposits him on the turf. Nice spin move by Zulian to get that shot off. Here's Keegan Crowley. Very aware of Zulian. And scores! What a brilliant play. Go back and watch that one as Keegan Crowley is literally looking to see when Zulian's going to try and swat that ball away. Crowley protects it perfectly and bangs home the 8-6 goal for Whitby. Reed and Palace. Penalty coming. I think it's going to be to Woods. Vradenberg is riled up. Vradenberg and Thompson getting into it. Thompson's pinned by the official. So he and Vradenberg nose to nose. Now they'll give each other a little tap, and Nate Woods is going off. We'll have to wait for the announcement of this penalty. Well, not only did the ref not turn and show it to us, he actually kind of put his hand in front of his chest so we couldn't see it at all. It is a minor. Okay, so 2 minutes. Probably an illegal body check. Nate Woods is piling up some penalty minutes today. Yeah. Illegal body check. Maxwell up to Pilon. Hard pass to the back door. They try to go cross crease. That Schutzkowski had moved across well. And Whitlow can't believe he didn't get that pass through. He had McGregor on the back door. Oh, my goodness. Jordan Goddard, the assist master, decides he's just going to let that one fly. Came into this game with 17 helpers. And for the life of me, I thought that was going to be a pass. And instead, he just drops the head of the stick to mid-level, blasts it home. It's a one-goal game. Once again, 8-7 with 2:25 to go here in the third. Reed fighting through the checks, drives to the net, stopped by Hill. What an effort by Scott Reed. That's got to be some kind of call. It'll be just a possession to Whitby. Orpana taking his time. Eventually over to Parker Pfeiffer. Penalty coming now. That's going to be to Conley for an illegal cross-check on the overzealous pick. And Vradenberg immediately in his face. Calls from the Whitby bench are just let them play. Call a possession foul there, but that's just saying that's a lot of penalties, a lot of power plays. Ryan Degradon talking about some other things that have happened. He's pointing. You can see where he's pointing. I think he's talking about the Woods call at center because that's exactly where that one happened. Looks like he's being pretty respectful, as Brian Degardon tends to be. 2:01 to go in the third quarter. It's 8-7 for Whitby, and the Snipers will be going to the power play. You can see there the penalty killers for Whitby will be Cromer and Woods at the top, Sturris and Thompson down low. Strong left for the Snipers with Peelan at the top. Peelan has it now. Back over to Goddard. Watch for him shooting from the top of the edge because he blasted one last time. That one's blocked by a defender. He did take the shot. Cromer, nice swim move to split the D. Overhead wrap check doesn't work for Whitlow, and Cromer into the offensive zone. Almost exact same time on the penalty and the quarter. Cromer will lose the possession there. Got 126 on 123 on the power play, 123 in the game, in the quarter. That's how close they are, 1 second apart. That pass is going to get up into the rafters, and I think over the boards. No, it came back into play. Thompson was going to take it, but Parker Pfeiffer gets it, and he is stripped, but it gets ahead to Woods, but it gets away from him. That's an over and back. It rolled down the leg and off the foot of Woods and back over center. And Goddard, he's feeling it, and that's why. Sniping from the top today. We're all tied up 8-8 with that power play goal. There was exactly 1 minute left in the penalty. That'll be wiped out, and there's now 1:01 left in the third quarter. Eddie Faraday out for a face-off against Dougie Palace, who's directing traffic. He had Mitch Zulian switch from the offensive zone to the defensive. It's going to be irrelevant as Faraday pulls that one out. Boy, but Zulian gets the ball. Oh, no, he didn't. It's eventually going to be Curtis Conley coming away with it. 48 to go in the quarter. Zipping through all kinds of orange traffic. Penalty coming away from the play. This has been building. Vradenberg now into it with, I think, Devin Pfeiffer. The original penalty is going to be on Eric Poirier. See if anybody else is going from the ensuing melee. It was Braden McGregor that was tangled up with Vradenberg. So far, it's just Poirier. He's getting the illegal cross-checking call, and I think that's going to be it. So with 37.8 seconds to go in the quarter, Whitby goes to the power play. They won't have to pull Szuczkowski. He's over at the bench getting a drink, but he's heading back now. Parker Pfeiffer, as usual, quarterback in the power play up at the top. Orpana down to Reed. Everyone's had a touch. 20 on the shot clock. Devin Pfeiffer over to Orpana. He's going to shoot. Nice shoulder save. And scooped up by Stone Jacobs on the run. Got a double team. Looking. Nice awareness. Saw where the help was coming for the defense. Spins out of trouble. And now there's going to be a penalty on the far side of the floor. There's a wrestling match between Jerry Stotts and Braden McGregor. Scott Reed was jumping in there. His helmet comes off. McGregor's helmet is off. There's helmets all over the place. Or is that just two parts of his helmet? Wow, that's fascinating. Let's get a shot of that helmet. Let's zoom in there. Is that like two parts of the helmet? That's pretty fascinating. I didn't even know they came apart quite like that. Okay. So McGregor's going to the penalty box. And Stotts. McGregor doesn't really have a helmet. They hand it off to Greg Linton, who looks at it like, how am I going to fix that? Well, you know what? 10.2 seconds to the quarter break, and he's got a couple of minutes, but that does not necessarily look like a quick fix. He might be heading down the hall to get another helmet. So with 10.2 to go, there's still a minute 33 on the initial penalty to Poirier. Just in the left part of the screen there, you can see McGregor helmetless in the box. And haven't seen Greg Linton reemerge yet. Do they have an extra helmet lying around, or is he putting that back together? Kudos to him if he gets it put together by the time McGregor comes out. If not, and you're McGregor, technically, how do you get from the penalty box to the player's bench? Because it'd be illegal equipment if you come out and you're involved in the play. Yeah, they've got an extra helmet. They brought one from one of the scratched players. Who's brought it down, and McGregor's going to put on a white helmet. Very different from his black one. They for sure a fist bump. How's that fit? I'm actually pretty curious who that player was, because saw him in warm-up, and it's a pretty cool helmet. Couldn't figure out where it was from. Maybe we'll get a chance. See if we can zoom in on Braden McGregor in the penalty box and see that helmet. Get a close-up of that. Though in the white, yeah. Oh, come on, lift your head up. Yeah, it's hard to tell from here. Oh, wait, where's he going? Oh, it looks like, I think Jerry Stotts, he's heading down to the dressing room, and McGregor may be gone as well. And we're never going to get a good look at that helmet. It's the white one with the kind of purple stripes there going back. Right there at the penalty box. Yeah, he's gone. So he takes the helmet off. And look at that in the doorway. Just get a shot carry of the doorway. That's Greg Linton who's saying, I was just getting your helmet back together. I think he'd done it. I think it was pretty much ready to go. That will become irrelevant as it would appear. They're tossed out. We'll get the details once play is back underway. Actually, maybe the end of the quarters, the 10.2 seconds left. So it's a 5-on-3, and Szuskowski was going to the bench. You definitely don't need to do that. Backdoor attempt behind the back pass. Devin Pfeiffer to Parker. He's got to shoot. Backdoor. Nice save right at the buzzer. Kerr had a chance. Hill turns to the side. It's 8-8 through 45 minutes. And 1:22 to go on the 5-on-3 that Whitby will enjoy when we resume with the fourth quarter of Arena Lacrosse League action. All right, lacrosse friends, we're back. So it was 5-minute face mask and game misconduct penalties to both Stotts and McGregor. So they're gone. But we have a 5-on-3 here for a minute 22. There's a minute 49 in the second penalty. Reed wins the faceoff. Just gets control. Took him at 3 or 4 tries, but he did get it. He'll go to the bench. And Jonah Kerr comes out to join the power play. And there's a quick finish by Devin Pfeiffer. I'll tell you, sometimes these really good goal scorers just make it look way too easy. Pfeiffer coming in with 10 goals today and 31 assists, which was tied for second in the league behind John St. John. And just like that, it's 9-8. That'll wipe out the 112 left on the first penalty. .137 left in the power play. The 5-on-4s, Woods picks that one up. Just rolls it ahead to Devin Pfeiffer. Devin and Pfeiffer playing catch a little bit. Come to Scott Reed now as they go strong left. Skip pass, gets away from Pfeiffer. That's going to be over and back. Diving attempt, just get back up. Oh, nobody's running for it. I like the effort, but it wasn't going to, you weren't going to get there in time. Yeah, penalty coming. Just Illegal substitution, the call. You could hear the screaming of too many, too many, too many. So it's on Six Nations. Oddly, Dustin Hill was starting to run to the bench. I think he had thought the penalty was on Whitby. That could have actually gotten ugly for the Snipers had Whitby come over center with possession as Hill was heading off. But play was blown down. Here's Nate Woods. It's back to 5-on-3, a minute 3 this time. And again, the clock not running. Here we go. Orpana, hard rip, shoulder save by Hill as he drops to his knee. Just threw the shoulder cap up. Little underhand shot from Kerr is stopped. And Hill has nowhere to go with it, so he's just going to ice it. One hopper off the boards. And it'll be picked up by Nate Woods. Still 35 seconds on the 5-on-3. Parker Pfeiffer up to Devon. Sidearm rip, stopped by Hill. Straight over to Parker Pfeiffer. Fresh 20 for the SteelHawks. Orpana down at the crease. Picked off cleanly by Stone Jacobs, but he's stripped by Devon Piper. Over to Parker. Oh, Orpana trying to find an open spot. Ethan Fisher having a pretty solid game over, or penalty kill shift over there. That's him jumping out on Orpana, applying the pressure. Hard shot stopped by Hill. It's sitting right there under the pants. Fisher will take off, gets stripped, but it'll bounce right in front of him. A bit of a fortuitous bounce. And Ethan Fisher up into the offensive zone, heads to the bench. Fradenberg. Watched by Woods. Got to be careful. Woods can create all kinds of problems. Good defensively, but once he gets the ball, he is deadly in transition. Parker Pfeiffer staying up the floor. Stone Jacobs with him. Late in the 30. That shot is going to cause a reset. Fresh 20 as Wes Whitlow flips it up to Jacob Killian. Killian. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Good penalty kill by him. Nice shift by Killian. Gotta look into this dude more. Penalty expires. We're back to 5-on-5. Parker Pfeiffer steps around the top. Jacobs just guiding him out of the play. Orpana gets it. Killian on the run. Jordan Goddard saying, just settle it down. Hand it off. He does so. Here's Keelan Pilon. Chayton King moves it quickly, and Goddard is going to survey. Pilon likes that lane. Bounces one. Almost found the top corner, but Szutkowski got just enough. Then the rebound possessed by Maxwell. Penalty coming to Whitby. Hill with a good sprint to get the extra attacker on. It's Avery Steinbach Parker heading out. Sets a pick immediately. Dunk shot possibly coming from Goddard. Oh, he's going to go quick stick to Maxwell instead. It's going to be a holding call. Robert Morgan going to the box. So facing a 1-goal deficit, almost 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, the Snipers will have a power play to try and even things up. Got some pretty serious racing going on right underneath us. A couple of young kids who each has a toy car. Oh, that's a false start. That's no win. We wipe out the win on that one. He went way early. Okay, they're lining up. Set. Go! All right, we'll get back to the lacrosse game. This is pretty fun, though, underneath a couple of kids playing here. Snipers to the power play. Dustin, go! Sorry, I got to call the game. Great to have the young fans enjoying themselves here, even if they're not watching all of the action. Nice pickup by Sturris as that ball gets loose. Conley juggles it. Good awareness to hear, sense that Armitage is coming. Somebody may have yelled. Pfeiffer with the ball over on the far side. Shot there, stopped. It comes straight back to Devin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer pass over to Arpana. I've become the official starter for the toy car races below us. So, picked up by Sturris as it was almost scooped up by Zulian. Sturris up into the offensive zone, just under a minute left. Quinn Highland has the ball. Sturris is going to head back because Six Nations is getting ready to bring someone off the bench. Under 10 minutes to play in the fourth. Still a 1-goal lead for the SteelHawks as they've got 30 seconds left. That shot gets through and Dustin Hill makes the stop, hands it off. Here's Armitage. 22 seconds left. They can kill. Whitby can kill the rest of it, but Six Nations will see if they get a chance beforehand. 15 left. They still have time. They got to get going. Don't want to get laid into it. Here's Goddard. Pilon back to him. Oh, Goddard, nice move. Gets the shot off the post. That's going to lead to a break. Pfeiffer heads up play to head to the bench, but Maxwell hustles back. Wood's got to do it on his own. That shot is blocked. So many good things happening there. Pfeiffer's awareness to head to the front of the net. Woods getting the ball and getting the pass off. But the defensive awareness on transition defense, just go back and watch that one. That is pretty much how you should do most of those things. We're back to even strength. It's 9-8 Whitby with 9:08 to play in the game. Hey, we had overtime last night. Certainly not beyond the realm of possibility here today as Devin Pfeiffer spins away from Sky. Sky knocks his stick right out of Parker Pfeiffer's hands, but the rip from downtown by Devin Pfeiffer, who then has a word for Sky. That's a big one from distance. And it's 10-8 with 8:52 to go. Back to the face-off circle. Reed and Paulus. Big battle. Thompson heading after it. Gooses it off the boards to himself. Couldn't quite come up with it, but Reed does. He'll go to the net. Checking to see if there's a penalty coming. There is not. Everyone was kind of pausing for a moment. Whitby going to the offensive end. Under 8.5 to go. Orpana thought about that shot from downtown. Pfeiffer feeds it across to his brother. He will rip from distance. That one's stopped by Dustin Hill. What a diving attempt. They're getting after the Whitby player who went in. Yeah, Dustin Hill and Parker Pfeiffer share a glove tap. Pfeiffer was doing it respectfully, going across the crease, and Hill actually came out to him. It's going to be Six Nations possession down in the offensive zone for them. Chayton King will have to give it to the official and get it back. Pilon at the top. Gives it off to Armitage. That's a goal from downtown. Chayton King. Whitlow and Bragg getting into it. This is a feisty, feisty game. We'll see what the penalty is. I think it's both sides. Both boxes are open. Yeah, it's going to be Whitlow and Bragg both go. Now, there's a discussion among the officials right in front of the box there. So the explanation being made, we'll hear what it is. Maybe we'll get the... Ref went and talked to Vince Longboat running the Six Nations bench, who's having a good chuckle. So it's going to be 4-on-4. Each team slips a player off to the bench. $7:59 to go. There's 2 minutes on each side up on the board. Nice catch by Cromer. Love that play by Conley to take a look as he realized he dropped the ball. Didn't just put his head down and go get it. Checked to see who was around and knew he had the space. Big battle behind the net. Oh no. Oh no. Orpana rolled up on the leg. There's going to be a penalty there. Oh, and then was that a kick at the end? Who was it? Is that Vradenberg? It was Vradenberg. Don't like to see that. Nothing malicious. Just they're both battling for the ball, and Orpana rolled up. Vradenberg gently going. You see, he's got that wrap on the right knee, and he is stepping very gingerly towards the bench. The penalty came afterwards. So Conley going to the box and Powless both heading off. Looks like we might have some 3-on-3. Extended discussion. Yes, it looks like it will be 3-on-3. All kinds of uncertainty about what's going on. So it's going to be Whitby possession. He'll start with Parker Pfeiffer, and he'll start with the ball. Orpana and Devin Pfeiffer out there. So Dougie Powless gets a major for high sticking, and it's a minor the other way for Conley, which means we're going to be 3-on-3 for a minute 12 now, and then another 24 seconds of 4-on-4, and then 3 minutes of power play time for the SteelHawks. So 1-goal game, 7 minutes to go. Whitby leading 10-9. Pfeiffer with the shot, stopped by Hill. And I'm curious to see how Andrew Vradenberg does. Armitage with it, and that's going to be too many men. That's going to be a penalty shot. Oh, now the officials are going to have a chat. There was lots of yelling. Had play been blown in before that change? Because it's on the officials to start play on a restart with the right number of players on the floor. They want the other ref in there. He's busy talking to Dustin Hill. Yeah, so it will be a penalty shot. Owen Orpana is already out at mid-floor. I thought we might see Parker Pfeiffer, but Orpana, who enters this game with 18 goals, looks like he'll be the guy. So Vince Longboat is getting the explanation. Not sure there's anything that can tell him that it's going to make him particularly happy in this spot. So the thing is that, so there's a 2-minute up, of course. So those matching minors, I guess the first one is wiped out. So right now, let's get a shot of the scoreboard before, just quickly. You can see the penalties that are up there. So the 2-minute on the top right is the latest one. That's for the illegal sub. So the 46-second penalty to Six Nations is wiped out by the penalty shot. So there's a really strong advantage to Whitby out of this situation. Here comes Orpana, mano a mano with Dustin Hill. Couple of fakes, shoots, stopped by Hill. That's a big stop. So it'll be 3-on-3 for 46 seconds, and then there'll be 24 seconds of 4-on-3, and then if Whitby doesn't score in there, it'll be 50 seconds of 5-on-3, and then even after that, there's 2:10 of power play, assuming there are no more penalties, which is a pretty big assumption at this point. The game's getting pretty feisty. I suspect we'll have some calls. You know what? Let's take the officials' time out so everyone can think about it for a couple minutes. We've got 6:45 to go. It's 10-9 Whitby, and we'll be back with Arenalacrosseleague action. Okay, so what has happened? They did sort everything out, and the illegal substitution was the one that was eliminated by the penalty shot. They keep the 46 seconds left on the matching penalties. So we are 3-on-3 for another 36, and then we'll go to 4-on-4 for that extra 24 seconds. So it's a little different than the way it was looking as we went to the breaks. I'm glad they took that. It was the right time for it. Just there was a lot going on. Here's Parker Piper. Ducks underneath. Great drive to the net. Shoots stopped by Dustin Hill. That's a heck of a save. And he's going to take a well-deserved break before he pops up to his feet. Length of the floor. Oh, Stone Jacobs. I think everyone thought he was shooting, including Jordan Goddard, who was a bit surprised by that pass. Good to see Andrew Vradenberg back on the floor after he was walking off carefully. 4 left on the shot clock, but it won't matter. Sturris comes away with it. Some tussling behind the play. Dallas Clancy's jersey was all twisted around him. His stick caught up in it. Now everything's off except for the major to Dougie Powless. 2:52 to go on that. So it's 5-on-4 Whitby. They lead by 1. 5:24 to go. Orpana. Liked the shot, but it wasn't there because of the hustle to get out by Ethan Fisher. I'm liking Ethan Fisher. Two and a half to go on the penalty. 5 and a bit left in regulation time. It's 10-9 Whitby. You know, major penalties can be a huge advantage for the team on the power play. If you can kill it, though, it can actually be a momentum boost the other way. Robert Morgan is going to get Whitby into the offensive zone. We'll see which way this one goes. Devin Pfeiffer takes it from his brother Parker. Back to Parker. Orpana gets it back. Whitby being methodical on this power play. 11 seconds on the shot clock. That pass doesn't connect. It's tracked down by Kerr. Diving attempt by Reed. That one's turned aside by Hill. There's going to be a fresh 20 when this is possessed. Szutkowski starts that rolling by picking up and passing it to Parker Piper. I always like to say, young goalies, you don't have to pick that ball up. Just tap it ahead. Don't possess it. And then the shot clock doesn't start again until your teammate picks it up. Here's Piper. Orpana, he's got a lane. Rips it. Stopped by Hill. Dustin Hill has been sharp. Here's Jacob Killian. Eyes up the floor. Finds the short man Jacobs. 1:20 left on the Powless major. Chayton King with no pressure on him. He'll just take his time. Pilon lets it rip late in the shot clock. Stopped by Szutkowski. The outlet pass to Pfeiffer. They've still got about a minute left on the man advantage. Reed to Pfeiffer. Back to him. Devin Pfeiffer's going to fire one. Hill was all over that, but it's scooped up by Orpana in the crease. Fresh 20. 35 left on the major. That's off a Six Nations player, so Szutkowski will fling it or bounce it ahead to Hopper to Scott Reed. 20 on the penalty. Hard rip, stopped by Dustin Hill. Had that one all the way. He's leaving it sit there, but play hasn't been blown in, so it won't help you. So he just picks it up and passes it ahead. That's the old Dylan Ward, just sit there and don't touch it and let the seconds keep ticking away, but the seconds weren't ticking, so Justin Hill had to rethink that approach. Penalty killed by the Snipers. Palace released. They get 5 guys out on the floor. See if they can build some momentum off of that. They hit the cutter. They missed the cutter, actually. Maxwell didn't get it. It's picked off by Parker Pfeiffer. Don't think of the Pfeiffers as defensive guys, but they can go back and give you a pretty decent shift in their own end. That's not what they're here for primarily, though. This is Parker Pfeiffer with the ball, taking the swat from Armitage. Conley with a shot, save Hill, up and out of play. Yeah, that's got to be a... Yeah, Julian was taking off, but that was clearly off the goalie that time. The captain, Mike McLaughlin, with it. 2 minutes to go. Snipers looking for a tying goal. Chayton King gets a lane underneath, misses far side, pings it off his teammate Goddard, but it goes straight to Keelan Pilon. Through the crease called. Huge, just takes away a scoring opportunity. Dallas Clancy thought about the pass ahead to Orpana. Thought better of it. Good decision. It's tempting. Orpana's such a good shooter, but that lane really wasn't there. Here's Pfeiffer spinning away. Killian gets it loose. Oh, Pfeiffer, what a play to reach around and knock it towards his teammates, but racing in to get it. We're the Snipers. Nice hustle play there by Max Skeen. Oh, it's on the floor. Maxwell gets it. Devin Pfeiffer was almost off to the races. Goddard, oh, what a rip. It hits Wes Whitlow. He is up and out of the crease, and he was hopping for a moment. Now he's putting a bit of weight on his left foot, but not much. Shot clock's going to expire as Goddard's trying to do more damage. They want a delay of game. That was, or unsportsmanlike, that was pretty close. The buzzer was going. And Whitlow's heading down past the bench to see the trainer. That's a tough one because Whitlow, obviously one of their top offensive players. If they can get this ball back for one more possession, they'd really use him. But he's not, I don't think he's coming back. Maybe if we keep playing after this final 40 seconds of the fourth quarter. Parker Pfeiffer, 11 on the shot clock. Whitby's not in a rush. You know they're going to hope for a reset shot here. Big save, but there's only orange jerseys. They'll take their time out. Whitby wasn't worried about getting a reset. They just wanted to make sure they had defense, didn't give up the transition. So with 27 seconds to go, it's 10-9 Whitby. Six Nations has the ball. Dustin Hill will go to the bench. It's been a great defensive battle. And Wes Whitlow has come back out. Jordan Goddard gives him a hug and apologizes for almost breaking his foot off with that rocket from downtown. Hill hasn't actually gone onto the bench, but he will. Goddard, Whitlow, and King, the righties in the conversation over at the bench for Six Nations. Pilon and Maxwell, the lefties. Now Avery Steinbach Parker. It looks like they're going 4 rights and 2 lefts. Whitlow, number 17 for the Snipers. You can see him in the corner. He's moving around, testing out that foot. Looks like he's all right. 27 seconds. Down by 1. You can go whenever you want. It's not like the end of a quarter where you're waiting for the last few seconds. Anytime you have a shot that you like, you can take it. Who cares if you give up a goal? Hill firmly in the bench. 6 attackers on. They did get 3 lefties, so it's Maxwell, Armitage, and Pilon. Steinbach Parker went back to the bench. Whitlow takes a check from Woods, but gets a shot off. Szutkowski pounces on it. 10.8 to go. Where's the ball? Szutkowski's still covering it. Woods takes off, gets away from the double team, the triple team. The net is empty. He's not going to score. Like that, 3 seconds left. He'll just run off to the side. Whitby holds on for a 10-9 win. What a game. The Snipers, an excellent effort, much better defensively than they have been. Again, they came in allowing 16.0 goals per game last overall in the Arena Lacrosse League. They give up 10 to the Whitby SteelHawks, who are scoring 14 a game. That is a terrific, terrific game by the Snipers, but Whitby pulls it out. The SteelHawks improve to 5-3. Six Nations drops to 2-5, and just like we saw last night in the Brampton versus Oshawa game, there is not a huge gap between the top and bottom teams in the standings in this league. I'm Steven Stamp. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll leave you with the handshake line, and we'll be back for more of this doubleheader Saturday at the Children's Arena in Oshawa with a Sweekin at Peterborough at 5 p.m. And hopefully you'll go and watch that one when you're done watching this, because it should be another terrific lacrosse game.